Okay, here we are. We are live. Hey, Kathy, how's it going?
Hey Sam, it's going. Sorry I'm late.
Okay, hey, only what, 5 hours or something? No, it's okay.
Only 5 hours.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
5 hours?
yeah. Some of you followed the conversation. We got wires crossed this morning. Alarms were overslept or at least ignored. I don't know if you're sleeping. We've all been there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. My alarm didn't go. I was out in the front room on my computer, but my alarm didn't go off on my phone, so I didn't even think about checking my computer. So,
yeah.
eh,
Just a few weeks ago, I was supposed to meet someone after our nap time, and Benny plays with my phone sometimes, and I think he had adjusted the settings, so the alarm went off, and it was like super quiet. I didn't wake up, and I didn't meet that person. So anyway,
ah, yeah.
yeah. So I've been there even recently, so I get it. But yeah, some of you followed the drama this morning. Kathy wasn't able to join us.
Drama. Yeah, yeah.
Here we
I'm
are.
ghosting you, Sam.
Oh no. Well, um, I don't know what to say that. Yeah. Anyway.
I shouldn't say that, but yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I did live and in person.
As long as
I
you're
should.
nice to her. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Looks like you're back from the dead now. No, I was pretty
Thanks.
sure,
Yeah.
I was pretty sure it was nothing serious, but I asked our friend Fred, and he was actually a little concerned. Oh, and here's what we
Hey,
got.
Benny.
I knew he'd make an appearance because hey, buddy, want to say hi? Yeah, it's Miss Kathy. Um, I knew he'd make an appearance just because we had to reschedule this, and so the slot where my wife was available to watch him, it was gone, and but
Yeah.
To my son get on my hair. So Mama gave me a haircut and Mama gave me a haircut. So I got a bathtub.
that's right, buddy. You had got the Play-Doh slime in your hair yesterday, and you got a haircut from it. So everyone on the video can see his fresh haircut. Okay, hey,
Nice haircut, Benny. Nice haircut.
buddy, Dada is in a call, so can you go back and watch your show, please? I love you, and if you need Dada, if we're then come get Dada, okay? I love you, buddy. Yeah, walking that delicate balance with a 3.5-year-old, trying to get him to judge rightly when it's an emergency or not. Anyway,
Yeah, well, I'll tell you straight up, teenagers can't judge that either.
good to know. Okay,
No.
cool.
Which is why I'm outside and not inside where it's warm.
Makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
well, hey, after some delays and just accidents and whatever, we're here with Cathy live. And if you didn't know already, this is Cathy McCrumb, sci-fi author of 3 books now. Recorder is the first aberration. I don't actually have the third one yet. I know I need to buy it.
Yeah,
Um,
my copy's in my room, but my husband's working, so I can't go get it. So I'm just gonna show you the arc.
hey,
Hi, sweetie.
that's still great. It's still
Yeah.
covered up and everything. So Guardian is the newest
Yeah.
release, the
Yeah.
third book in the trilogy, and I'm gonna ask Kathy to tell us about that today. So as always, I have a spiel like I always read the same kind of comments for authors to come on, but you've been on here before, and I think at this point the viewers know like this that we're dealing with. We've had to reschedule, and so we're kind of taking it informally today. That's fine. But Kathy's here to answer some of our questions and talk about her newest release. And so thank you for coming on and being flexible and working with all of us there.
Oh,
Um,
thank you for forgiving me for like disappearing this morning.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
I've been forgiven for a lot myself, so there we go.
there
But
you go.
yeah, as always, I have some questions prepared, but we want to make it an interactive discussion too. So if you're watching this, if you're there in the comments, a friend of mine or a friend of Kathy's, or just a fan of sci-fi or readers, writers, anything, post your questions in the chat about whatever you want to ask about. I mean, hopefully pertaining to this conversation, but still. Um, but mostly about Kathy and her book, and we want to hear from you too. Okay, ready? Cool. Um, so Kathy, I know it's hard. We were just talking about this before I turn on the live stream. It's hard with a third book to tell us kind of an overview without giving spoilers for books 1 and 2. And I feel like really at this point, it's on them if they haven't read books 1 and 2, because I mean they've been out for a few years and they're great, and you guys should read them because I've read them both. Um, and- oh, cool, buddy. Okay. Yeah. Not every author who I've had on here. I try to read everyone's books. I mean, I would like to read everyone's books. I can't read all of them. I just don't have time. but I have read Cathy's two, and I'm going to read the third one, and I can tell you personally they're great. So if you haven't read them yet, it's on you. What are you doing with your life? But can you, Cathy, try with minimal spoilers to give us an overview of the first two and kind of what can we expect when we come into book three?
Okay. So the first one, okay, so ugh. The first one starts with, I like to say, a research station goes dark and a rescue mission goes wrong. And the team of people that are sent, there's a recorder sent with them, and she loses everything that defines her, and in the process discovers freedom and friendship for the first time. The end of book one, there's a threat that's bigger than what they thought it was. Someone has designed a bioweapon to take out the consortium, and she has to return to the place that nearly killed her in order to save people's lives. And the third one picks up exactly where the spoilers, exactly where the second one left off. Like it's the same moment of the end of Aberration that Guardian picks up.
Well, okay, I'm excited to read it. And I know. Well, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure my wife isn't watching this. No, I know she's not because she's out with the car. She does have a birthday coming up at the end of March, and I was thinking that might be a good birthday gift. So I'm gonna read it. I like to buy my wife books that I want to read, so I have an excuse to buy them. And then we
Two
can.
birds, one stone.
Exactly. And we like a lot of the same things, so it works. But so again, without spoilers, I know it's hard to do, but like, what can we expect in Guardian? Like, is there a space chase and a confrontation coming up? Anything like that?
Well, the first thing they have to do is deal with it's really tricky to set that up without, because like if you haven't finished Aberration until the last page, there's a plot point that's not resolved until the last page of Aberration. If you know, you know. And saying anything about Guardian, like I can read the first sentence of Guardian, but I can't read the second because that reveals the thing that's not revealed until the last page of Aberration. As authors, don't do this. It's good for readers, but as authors, it's really horrible to do this for marketing purposes. So just a heads up, all you guys who are writing books, it's great for the readers, but when you're sitting there thinking, I'll just read the first chapter, no, you really can't. They have to address the situation of the virus, but I'll go ahead and give my disclosure. I've had several people tell me that they would love to read the books, but they can't because there's giant bugs in them, and there are giant bugs in them. Matter of fact, Sam, you're the one that gave Lars his best line. In Aberration, you said something about, you made a joke about an encroachment, and so there are giant roaches in the book. So there's the disclosure. Yeah, they have to deal with the problem with the virus. They have to deal with the giant roaches. They have to deal with, are they stuck on this moon on the dark end of the solar system? Well, their system or not. It's not Earth. It's not this solar system. I'm just using the term loosely. So can they get out of that? And then there's the underlying thing the whole way through is that she has broken the rules. She has violated the consortium's tenets. So there are consequences, and she's facing very severe consequences that will wind up killing her if she goes back. But there's no choice. She's going back. So, will she have what is going on with the people who designed the virus? Can they get off the moon that's infested with 2-meter insects? And then, is that good enough?
That's a good start. I mean, I assume I was saying that I also said this to people before we came on live, but like you had to in order to write the publisher's summary or whatever, you had to at least give us something. So you give us something.
Yeah.
So thank you. That's great.
Yeah. So back copy as the recorder's fate has been sealed, but the consortium is not the only enemy. Labeled in operation by the consortium, the recorder is not yet free. Time is running out as an engineered bioweapon wreaks havoc on friend and foe alike. Stopping both the biological agent and the people who created it is no easy task, especially since the recorder and her friends are trapped on a research station infested with behemoth insects. Without consortium technology, the probability of neutralizing the threat falls to nothing. In order to save her allies, the recorder must activate a drone, but her success might destroy any hope for freedom, a future, and a name.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
By a name, do you mean like because she's still trying to choose her own name, or just kind of like
Yeah, the first line of the whole book, the whole trilogy is, I did not have a name, none of us did. But
Got it.
once when I was young, I had a friend.
I remember that.
And that's a promise as a writer, that's a promise that I made. And that promise will be met one way or another.
Yeah. Okay. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I'm looking for. I mean, I know this isn't the only plot point, but I'm looking forward to finding out her name. So yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to. Yeah, we have some people in the comments. Well, mostly our friend Fred so far. She
Hey,
said,
Fred.
yeah, yeah, it's Winifred, if you guys know. So yes, Fred is a girl. She says Guardian is amazing, and you can expect Guardian to wrap up everything in Recorder and Aberration in the absolute best ways and leave you both satisfied and wanting more. Um, and she also said, trust me when I say that the cockroaches are worth dealing with. So and I know she was one of your arc readers, so I was like, I saw she was raving about it, and I asked her, did you read it already? Because it just came out like couple weeks ago, right? But
Yeah, it came out on the 20th. Well, was it last week? Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
Wow, time flies.
yeah, it's not in March, but the 20th
Yeah.
was only 9 days ago.
Yeah.
Or something. So yeah. Not even out for 2 weeks, but she was one of your arc readers, so she's read it.
Yeah.
Jealous that she's read it ahead of time, but that's okay. So yeah, she's not just raving, she knows what she's talking about when she says she's read it. But that leads into one of my next questions I was going to ask. I know for at least I think it was the first one. I mean, hopefully they've both gotten good reviews, but the first one was reviewed by Publishers Weekly, which is kind of a big deal. I
Mhm.
don't call it hard sci-fi with heart.
Mhm.
So I wondered, have you gotten any other good like reviews or fan reactions in the first couple books yet? That
For
and this is a chance to brag about yourself, so go for it.
I don't know if Publishers Weekly will be reviewing, because it's harder with a trilogy because you don't
Sure.
always review all 3 books, in part because you have to get the right person again, because it doesn't do a whole lot of good if you send a 3rd book to someone who's never read any of them before.
Okay.
So, but they did a review for Aberration and said that it took the series to new heights,
Good.
which is very nice. One of my favorite reviews for Guardian so far is the protagonist's pub, and you can watch her review on YouTube. And she said it was glorious.
Good.
And so I was like, wow, that's super cool. But I'm one of those people who I don't tend to read the reviews. I think of reviews as more for the readers finding the next book.
Sure.
Once in a while, I'll ask a friend, can you suss out something for me? But
we've all been there. Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
But I don't tend to read my reviews. And so for any authors out there who are listening and they're like, but they say to read the reviews, you don't have to. Some people, yeah, it's
depending on what kind of reviews you get, it might be like choosing not to read the YouTube comments, which is always a good idea. Yeah.
well, I mean, even the good ones, I don't even tend to read the good ones, unless somebody points it out to me.
I've heard that too. It's just like you don't want to build yourself up too much. Like you don't want to. Maybe I'm reading into it, but you don't want your esteem to be solely from those reviews. If it is, then when they turn bad, then that
well, I actually think of it slightly different. differently. I think of it because the reviews are for readers. The reviews are for help a reader find the right book. So, if you want, um, if you want something that's like mill sci-fi, and you find a review that's like, this is not mill sci-fi, 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5, I don't like it, it's too emotional. That right there narrows it down. So if you're reading reviews to find out whether or not this is going to be the right book for you, and you're like, oh, but I like emotional science fiction, whatever, then it's easier for you to find the book that you like. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody but me.
Yeah.
Um, um, so I feel like reviews are actually, they are very good for authors. Um, Hopefully all good reviews, but even that is kind of weird because people are like, oh, these are all good reviews. I mean, how many plants did she have? How many
Right.
grandmothers did she have that left a review for her book?
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time,
5.0, I mean,
yeah,
it probably means not many people have reviewed it yet, but
yeah. So, but at the same time, while reviews are good for authors because it's what's the term? You know the term, Sam? Social
uh,
proof.
yeah,
Social proof
yeah,
of people have read this book and they've liked it or they haven't liked it. Well, that's good. They really are there for a service for the reader. So for people who are out there like, but I don't know how, I hated book reviews in school. I don't want to write one now. Just like what, 25, 30 words that will help another reader decide if this is the book that you want as a service to the reader, not necessarily for the author. I that's my take. I know that not everybody feels that way, so which is
yeah,
fine, you
yeah.
know.
No worries. I'm looking up Goodreads now, because I use that, and Guardian looks like has 4.77, which means pretty good reviews, but it's not like they're all perfect. So someone might have given you a 4.0 or something, but anyway, so
Yeah.
that's authenticity. But sorry, I shouldn't have told you that.
No, and it's for and the other thing about reviews, and this is targeted towards your writing audience, not necessarily your reading audience, although readers, that's fine too. Not every book's going to be for everyone. I mean, there have been some classics that I'm just like, what? And if you go through and you read the remarks for some of Jane Austen's novels, you will see widely disparate results because not everybody's going to want a bunch of people going and visiting each other at their houses and then coming home. And that was one of the reviews. Like, they just went to somebody else's house and then went home. And that's the whole book. And I'm like, yeah, well, it kind of is, but there's a lot more to Jane Austen than just visiting people.
There are some classic
So,
books that some people really don't like, and some people really do, and
yeah.
I mean,
And that's okay because the people that it resonates with, those are the people that are the ones that authors want to read the book. So
we need to.
I don't know.
I think, as a term has been said about writing in community, we need people who resonate with it. Like, yeah, I think I got that term from a book about the Inklings, Lewis and Tolkien. But yeah, so that's good. Yeah, you can't please everyone. You won't please everyone. But you do what
Yeah,
you want. Yeah.
yeah. You write. Um, you just write the thing with maybe with somebody in mind, maybe with just yourself in mind at first. I always think of like early drafts are, it's totally okay. You could totally, um, it's with early drafts, I write for me and then I refining them is for later. I don't know, maybe that makes sense, maybe it doesn't.
Okay. Sorry if you couldn't tell. I muted myself while I was yelling at the child, but yeah.
No, you weren't yelling. I could tell you weren't yelling. You weren't breathing deeply enough to
I was
actually
I
yell.
was I was projecting toward the child, but anyway.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. You're right. Yeah. We need, you know, your book will find its audience, and it sounds like it already is. I mean,
I hope so. I hope so. I hope that people, well, you always hope people like your book. Yeah, I don't think very many people say, oh, gee, I hope nobody likes this book, because that would be, why did you even publish it, right?
yeah. Fred says half the time I read a book because of the bad reviews. I don't know if that means because like she doesn't trust their opinion, or because it's so bad she wants to see how bad it is. But anyway, we'll leave that comment open.
Yeah, one of my favorite reviews for Aberration was actually a negative review.
Oh, yeah?
Um,
Can you tell us
yeah,
about it?
it was more or less. I think I showed it to Fred.
I'm familiar, but
So,
yeah.
but yeah, it was more or less. It had the recorder called the recorder a guy, and it set it on a planet with a city, and it spelled sci-fi wrong, and it said I don't like books that make me use my imagination. And so
How do
I'm
you
like, I'm like, how can you? This is really a bad review.
like?
But yeah, so I don't like this book. It's not the kind of book I like to read because it makes me use my imagination. And the recorder has to do everything he can to save the rogue drones, which are terrorizing the city. And I'm like, there's no city in this book. There, there's rogue drones in the first chapter, but this is not. It was
I missed a few does. Yeah, like not
yeah.
not a negative review, but the review itself was a piece of bad writing. Yeah,
Yeah, well, it was a negative review. I mean,
well, both.
I don't even think she gave it stars at that point. So it's bad. They don't like it when they don't even give you stars, but
Yeah.
that's
Not
okay.
even 1 star. I feel like
Yeah.
every book I've written, I've read on Goodreads, I've given at least 1 star because I mean, even the ones I hate, I'm like, you have to rate it, so I gave it 1 star. Anyway,
Yeah.
well,
Well, I used to, yeah, yeah. Never mind. Yeah. Go ahead. On to the next thing.
yeah. We've
I'm
taken some
gonna.
time on reviews, which aren't even your thing anyway. I wanted to ask you, what does it feel like having published your full trilogy now? Did you ever think you'd get this far?
If you'd asked me that 7 years ago, I would have laughed at you.
Mhm.
If you'd asked me this last year, I probably would have cried because writing Guardian was very hard. It was the hardest one out of all of them to write, and it was hard to finish.
Okay.
When I finished it, that feeling. It's almost April, right? Kind of almost April. So you all know in North America, in America, this is when you do your taxes.
Mhm.
And that feeling when you finish your taxes and you hit send and you're just like, and it just feels so good, right? Because it's done. For good or ill, the taxes are done and you send them in and you just like slump and you're like, okay, now we break out the ice cream and watch whatever comfort movie makes you happy.
Maybe once we get a refund, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if you do it and you owe them money, you're like, well, at least I know the damage.
Right.
Um, I finished. I was expecting to have that sense of like relief. Oh, it's done. I did not expect to be hit by grief
Okay.
because I finished this thing that had been.
It's because this part of your life is over, perhaps.
It was like I'd moved away and left my friends behind.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I wouldn't have guessed that either, but
yeah, it was very. I have talked to a couple people who've done trilogies that are like one big story, kind of like
yeah.
this is one big story. And I've talked to people who've done that, and a good portion of them have said the same thing. It's like they finish it, and it's like, well,
I've,
what do I
I've,
do?
I haven't written my third book yet. I have outlined a third book. I haven't written it yet. So, and maybe that's, I don't know. I'll have to break myself when I get there.
And it's different. I mean, just writing it when it's yours and you can still make changes is one thing, but writing it and sending it in and then it's done, hands in the air and walk away, that's different.
Yeah, and I mean, none of us are George Lucas. We can't go back and change the originals or J.K. Rowling. So, yeah,
Yeah, not
uh,
not so much.
that big. So it's out, it's done. Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask. Well, later I'll ask if you have any future plans for the recorder, but as far as we know now, it's done. So that's okay.
The
Yeah.
trilogy is wrapped up, so there you go.
It
That's
is okay. Yeah. So okay. I hadn't thought about the grief process for
It was very strange. I did not expect it. I did not expect it at all. And it was like moving across the country and forgetting to say goodbye to your good friends. It
Okay.
was it was
Oh,
it was odd. I did
yeah.
not expect that.
Yeah. I mean, how long have you been working on this project? I mean, the book have been not super late. I mean, like 21, 21, 22, 24. So not, it hasn't been super long that they were published, but like,
Yeah.
how long
I
have these
was,
books been your friends?
I think 2018,
Okay. Yeah, it's still a good chunk of time.
maybe
6,
2017. I don't know.
yeah.
I can't remember. If I
If
could
I,
go back on my Facebook page, I could probably find it because for a while I was posting weekly updates. This is my word count. This is my word count. Um,
if I
and
lived somewhere for 6 or 7 years and left those people, I'd be sad. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah. Wow. Okay. Um, was it you said it was the hardest one to write. Like is that because like did the grief hit you once it was over, or like as you were in the writing process, or
It was hard to write because I finished Recorder and Recorder was done when I sent it in to the publisher, and then I had to write book two, and I had a bunch of stuff written for book two, and I wound up not using some of it and writing and starting over in a different place. And I knew where I needed to start it. Um, and I got that, I turned it in, and by that point, um, I had to re-engineer um, some of the plot simply because there's a bioweapon, and there was also COVID. So
oh, right.
everybody's like, no, you can't do viruses. I built it up. It's in the first book. I have to do the virus. So I had to re-engineer the virus. And that changed things a little bit. But I turned it in, and after I turned it in, I was thinking about because I actually had 85, I think it was 85 or 87,000 words written in book three. Um, when I finished Aberration. And I turned Aberration in and I was thinking about it and I messaged the publisher and I said, I think I have to trash everything I have and start over from nothing.
For
So for Guardian. And I
right.
did. I
Wow.
think I saved a couple of plot threads and
How much did you have
um,
already? Like, had you written the draft or a part
I
of
had
something?
already written 85 to 87,000 words.
Yeah,
And it's all in a junk file now. Um,
like delete it, but yeah, still.
yeah, yeah. And so I had to start all over, which means I had to divorce the old plot from my head
It's hard.
and then follow it through to the new one. So I wasn't even really starting.
Yeah,
I had some stuff written, but I'd asked for an extension and I got an extension, which is one of the reasons that
that's in
the book
24.
is not coming out in November of 2023, but in February of 2024.
Okay.
Um,
Still only
but
4 month extension. That's not too bad. Yeah.
yeah, because I had to rewrite the whole thing. And Guardian is, I think, a quarter to a third longer than Aberration is. So it's a much bigger book. I mean, you can't really tell, maybe, I don't know.
Mhm.
Can't really tell.
That looks, yeah, I can see it. It's a
If I go
chunk.
like this,
Yeah. I can see that.
yeah.
If you listen to the audiobook,
So,
look at
yeah. And the audiobook is like 5 bazillion hours long. Not really, but you know, she must have had so much water right there. So people,
yeah, wow.
but
So maybe one day.
anyway, yeah. So anyway, that was why it was hard because I had already written it. I already knew where the plot went. I knew where the ending went. The ending of the actual book right now is the one that I pulled the J.K. Rowling on this one. And if I could have just, a tenth of her success, that would be great. But whatever.
Oh,
Um,
a hundredth.
a
Yeah.
hundredth of her success, that would be wonderful. Um, I'd even go down to 1,000th. I'd be like, I'm okay with that. Um, but the the ending that's on the book now is the one that I was working towards the whole time. So it's like when I write, I kind of pants and I write out of order and then I stitch it together in order and then I write forward and
Oh,
rewrite the stuff that I wrote. So it's like keeping your eye on a distant mountaintop and going towards it. But then when you get like here, you realize, oh wait, this path doesn't work, and then going back to the beginning and then going this path. And that's
Yeah.
that would have happened whether or not I plotted it, just
Yeah.
because of the fact that that original plot line didn't serve the story as well as the one that's in there now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, that probably was like complete confusion.
That's okay. Yeah. I know people who have scrapped whole books and written them. I have not. I'm too scared, but I've talked to people who were like, yeah, I scrapped my whole first draft. I've heavily edited my first draft, but I've never thrown away the whole thing and started again.
Yeah.
So
I did not. I rewrote Recorder like 21 times,
wow.
and
That
but I never scrapped it and went over this one. She's, I'm sorry. It's like my favorite character from book 3 is now in my boneyard. He's not even in the books. He will never be in that world now because he won't make any sense.
maybe one day you can release like the director's cut or like
No, this will be buried. And I'm actually I actually went through and started deleting the files. I'm like, oh, let it go and just delete the files. Save your favorite scenes, see if you can rework them, but delete the files because they no director's cut.
Or like after your death, one of your kids can do a Christopher Tolkien and like
Yeah.
and release like here's what the original vision and with commentary. Nope. Okay. Okay.
Nope. I will delete it just on that off chance.
Okay. Okay.
It's gone.
Okay. You gotta well someone
Gotta do what you gotta do.
yeah. They say kill your darlings. Someone recently told me that maybe don't kill your darlings, but reevaluate your darlings. It was you who told me that.
Yeah. Well, I don't like the phrase kill your darlings.
Yeah.
Because if it's important to you, there's probably a reason for it.
Right.
I'm pulling out my favorite parts and I'm gonna see if I can stitch people and take them out of that world and put them into that world sort of thing. But
Okay. Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot. Not there's a lot. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of different.
there is, and there's a lot of tears.
Sure, I was gonna say
And
intellectual and emotional work.
yes.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, but like, I've only asked you like 2 of my questions on my list, and
Okay, I'll be.
that's okay. Fred actually asked a good question. What was your original inspiration for the series? Like what? I guess can you tell us what that's the idea or anything?
It comes from different sources. I told everybody the story, I think, about Kylie, and that was when my daughter was a baby. I was working night shifts for or late night. I don't know, whatever it was. I was driving home at like 11:30 at night, and a line popped into my head, and I'm like, oh, that's a good line. So I'm like reciting it the whole way up, the whole drive home. No music, nothing, just driving. It's 11 o'clock at 11:30 at night. I'm driving. I'm saying, Kylie hated the moments when the ship left dock, and she was reminded that she was in a thin metal canister floating through space. And I recited that the whole way through. I think it's the beginning of either chapter 15 or 16. That was the very beginning of, and I knew there was Kylie, I knew there were cats, and I knew there was a virus that had 2 parts. Shh. Spoilers. But so I knew there was Kylie, and I knew there was cats, and I knew there was a virus. And then I tried to write that for years and years and years, and finally I just shoved it aside. And then I was talking to my friend Julie. I hope, Julie, if you're watching this, you don't mind I mention your name, in the library parking lot, and we were. Is all clear? Okay. And we were talking about how some people in society don't seem to have any value. And I've been talking about this for a while, and she was driving me home from work, and we were sitting out talking, and I told her I had this dream, and it was like I was standing on this with a group of people on this moon, and there's red dust, and then we went down into these caves, and we're looking through computers, and there's somebody said look out for the roaches, and then there was other stuff, And I was like, huh. And she's like, can you write it? So I'm like, well, I wrote the dream down. The dream, what's left of the dream is now chapter 2 of Recorder. So it's like all these different things pulled together from different places. And when I got to chapter 10 or 11, that was, Kylie showed up. So I'm like, oh, there you are. That's where you belong. So I went back and I put her back in, made it so that it worked to have her in the story. But I don't know if I don't know if that answers your question or not, Fred. But hey, Benny.
Oh, it just felt okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to keep him busy. We'll leave
No,
that.
I'm a mom. I totally get it.
You understand, yeah. So
I understand.
that does help. Thank you. Well, sometimes just a minute, buddy. I was giving him my phone to play with, and he just dropped it behind the bed. So
Of
anyway,
course you did. Yes,
so
I saw it slide.
yep, that happens. So
Mhm.
yeah, we're mobile today. We're figuring things out. Yeah, no, I know a lot of times story ideas can come from just like a little scene or a little scenario or one character. So yeah, cool. Thanks for sharing that. That was a good question. I had not asked that one. Can you tell us? Okay, I was gonna ask about well, the whole journey, not just book 3, but from book 1 till now. What is either the most challenging part? You tell us some of the challenges, or the most rewarding part. Can you tell us either and or both of book 1 until now?
Um, the challenges for me is like I was not when I pitched, I was not necessarily thinking that anybody would pick it up, and so I had zero platform at all. So the hardest thing for me has been trying to write and learn how to do marketing at the same time and learn how to build a website and learn how to, and you can only balance so many plates at a time. Um, that's been hard. The most rewarding thing is literally hearing from readers and hearing like there's a scene in Aberration when a young man hands her a jacket. And that one scene, I've had so many people like either come up to me at Realm Makers or send me a note um, and say, that was my son. And it impacted them because that scene existed. And, or that was my son, or that was my daughter, or that I feel like that was me. And those things are the greatest reward. I'd love to say that, I had, as I said, a tenth of J.K. Rowling's success. But the real success isn't that. The real success is having somebody say, I feel seen and this matters or
Yeah,
this helped me through something. So that's and let's be honest, it's also a real success when somebody sends me an emoji laden comment on Instagram or in a message and says, what you did not, and then leaves it at that. And then I can sit there and I can think, yes.
we
Or
all
would I really do that? I mean, really, would I do that? Did you do that?
we all
That's
want
pretty good.
audience reaction. I mean, no,
Yes.
I mean, not just for shock value or whatever, but I mean, no,
No.
it's it's emotionally resonated with someone because
Yeah.
they become invested in the comments and everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
And I also think that I probably needed more caffeine because that sentence just vanished halfway out of my mouth. Go ahead. Your turn.
okay, thanks. Yeah, so yeah, okay, sorry, I'm also distracted as you know.
No, you're good. You're
Running
good. And
around.
it's like seriously, it's really good. And I think that as parents, we forget how good it is for kids to see that mom and dad are working on something.
Yeah,
And
it's not all about them.
it's not all about them, but it shows them that work is important.
Yeah,
And and pausing for a moment to address their concern shows them that they're also important.
right.
So I think that it's a huge, as I said, I'm outside. So if they're screaming, I put it's not my kids this time. Um, And I don't have a dog, so the dog's not my fault either. But anyway, I think it's good for kids to be involved, just like learning to sit, learning to listen, learning to just watching mom and dad do things. I think that's really important. I think
Yeah.
we forget that because we're used to compartmentalizing in our culture so that we go to work and then we go home and then we go to the activity and then we go to the other activity. And
And we used
anyway,
to constant entertainment too, which it's okay. A little bit of boredom is okay sometimes. Yeah.
yes, I had hired, I think, Aladdin to be my babysitter more than once.
Yeah, we've been
The
there.
Lion King was babysitter for more than once.
Yeah. My trouble is he's actually starting to get tired of TV and want to run around and like if it's on the TV I can do that, but he's running around and getting into things. So
Well, yeah, he's little. That's what little people do. They run around.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, similar to what you're just talking about, can you tell us, and this broadly, I guess, but what do you hope readers will get out of Guardian? Like what kind of responses or reactions do you hope to see? You answer that question, and I'm gonna change.
I throughout the whole series, one of the things that's really important to me is the fact that um, people realize that they each and every one of us has value, whether or not you like the person, whether or not you are, neurodivergent, neurotypical. You have value. Um, Max tells the recorder in the first book that whether you're stardust or creation, you are unique and you're valuable. And that's one of the things I want people to walk away with. And the other one is hope that through the dark seasons, through the dark um, periods of your life, that there's hope on the other end, and that you can hold fast to that and keep going forward. That's probably the two biggest takeaways. So,
That's great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Hey, Danny, it's too loud, buddy. It's too loud. Okay. Um, hey, okay. So, like, what was gonna ask? Okay, buddy. Is there a I know you mentioned your hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. I need you to be okay. I need you to be quiet for a second, buddy, please, because I'm talking. Okay. Is there a scene? I know you said your kind of your favorite character is scrapped and RIP to I guess a character I'll never meet. Is there
well,
a
okay. I love the recorder and I love Nathaniel Timmons and I love Jen Dubois and
okay,
yeah, I
buddy.
love Robert Maxwell and Benicia Jordan. I love all of them. Lars was especially fun to write. Um, he's just really fun to write. And I loved writing The Eldest, and because she's been mentioned in the other two books, but you actually get to meet her in the third one. And I think my favorite line about The Eldest was, oh gosh, what something I'm gonna get it wrong, so I probably won't say it. So,
Well,
but
since that one has been scrapped at least, is there a is there a certain character or scene or part in Guardian in the published version that you're looking forward to or hoping people will respond to?
the end, the end is I'm really hoping that um, I'm really hoping that the end resonates. I mean, everybody wants to stick the landing, that doesn't make me special.
Sure.
Everybody hopes um, that they're that that people walk away feeling satisfied, and that's my hope. I mean, there really is that people walk away from it just feeling um, like, oh, that was it. That's the ending. So I don't know, that probably doesn't make as much sense as I want it to, but that's
It
kind of where
will.
I am.
Well, once I read it, I hope. I mean, I
Yeah,
trust it.
yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
yeah,
So, I mean,
I will read it and I'll post my review, like I
yeah,
do always do, and
yeah,
I might cry. We'll see.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Oh, I found it. I found it. I'm going to read it to you. The
what's that?
eldest's voice was as soft as mouse fur and as smooth as the snakes that ate the mice.
Huh, nice.
She's just so much fun to write.
Okay.
And now everybody's going to know that I'm a crazy person because I said that out loud
We're
on the
also authors,
interwebs.
so
Yeah.
I kind of think the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, yeah. Normal people don't write books, really.
You know what? You're probably right on that.
Mm.
I mean, why would anybody sit there and bleed into a keyboard with their emotions in their brain and for so long for the off chance of somebody saying, I don't like books that make me use my imagination? Bleed into a keyboard with their emotions and that was weird. So, anyway, like books that make me use my imagination.
Sorry, I had some audio snafus there. I was, yeah.
That's
We've
all
had
right.
all kinds of snafus today. Fred says she's surprised her kids haven't interrupted yet, so there we go. But yeah, you know, most of us aren't. I mean, not to say you have like a fortunate life or anything, but most, most of the people we read about, most of the authors we read in school didn't have happy lives. That's
Oh gosh.
so
Yeah, I'm just glad mine's a lot better than that.
not
You
none
know,
of them. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. I did want to ask you while we still have some time. Um, what, if anything, is next for the recorder? Because I have not read the ending. I don't know if it's a final ending. I remember a lot at some point when I talked to you early on in the process, because you've been part of our writers group online. I know you hope to do more than 3 books, and I know, I mean, it's great that a publisher picked you up for 3, but that doesn't, but it's not always, there's not always more than that guaranteed. So like, are you, do you want to write more of this world, this character,
I
or
could probably write this character for the rest of my life if I wanted to.
okay?
Whether or not I will,
No,
whether or not I will it's very unlikely that I will. Um, I have several short stories, and once I get my newsletter up and running, which is not yet, hey Benny. Once I get my newsletter up and running, I'm going to have a couple of stories in the world, some of them from her perspective, some of them not, just for free.
cool. So
Could
like,
I write something? Yes. I have, I think, 45,000 words written for James's sister, and I think about 10,000 words written. If I could write a novella for Julian Ross, I 100% would. It would be very interesting to see the events in these books through his eyes, but
can you record that, please? Is it gonna be loud? Okay. So there is, okay.
there are other stories in my head. Whether or not I actually ever write them out and get them published, I have no idea.
A number of other stories, some of which have been written already. Do you think, like, do you think there's a possibility of a book 4, or is that not unlikely?
It seems unlikely at this point.
Okay.
But I do have I don't know how long it'll be. In the first book, Nathaniel Timmons tells the recorder about why he doesn't distrust recorders, why he just distrusts the drums. And I don't know how long the story is, but I'm writing a story about that
Okay.
just because I can. I don't
Yeah.
have to, but I can now because, I don't have any
They're
deadlines
loud.
for writing.
They're
Yeah,
real good.
I can totally write my own fan fiction, and this like legit because it's not fan fiction because I wrote it. So there.
Well, allowed, and I'd say even encouraged to be a fan of your own world. So there you
So
go. Cool. Okay. Well, hey,
Bulldozer.
bulldozer,
what is it? A bulldozer? Very cool.
buddy. Okay.
Car.
One of your cars? Yeah. Okay. Hey, buddy. Okay. You can't, not up here right now. Okay. Um. So yeah. Okay. So hey, maybe one day, I don't know. I don't know. And I mean, it may not even have this, sometimes, well, maybe once Guardian becomes a bestseller, you, like nationally, and you make millions of dollars, you'll get picked up by an even bigger publisher, and they'll want to want like 10 more books in the series. That's probably what happening.
It's possible, I suppose, but and I think that one of the things I did when I finished writing Guardian was I made myself write a story that was completely and absolutely different. And because I needed to get the recorder's voice sort of out of my head in order for me to feel like I could write something else. So
Sure.
I've just written short stories since then. The ones in an anthology, most of them have been hiding on my computer, and will probably continue to hide on my computer because there's really not a place for for them to go,
Yeah.
which is fine. I mean, it's fine. I don't believe that any word written is wasted, except at maybe 2 a.m. when I realize that everything that I've written has been wasted. But as a writer, I know you do not understand this at all. There's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I wasted all this, blah blah blah. But as an author and as an editor, I don't believe that is true, and that every word that you write gets you closer to writing better. I mean, I don't think there's really such a thing as mastery, because it's
Sure.
infinite,
Sure.
So
Yeah. So short answer is who knows what's next.
pretty much.
Let's see. Okay. Well, similar question. I asked you what's next for the quarter, but what's next for Cathy? Like other projects, other focuses in life, or I mean, other than you still have some kids at your house, so there's that.
hmm I homeschool my two youngest, and junior high and high school homeschooling is a little bit more intensive than elementary homeschooling, especially when you have learning disabilities, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, not every day is fine, but there are some days when you're like, I know why there are boarding schools in Alaska, and I live in Colorado, and I know why those boarding schools exist. Um, and that line from The Princess Bride, life is pain, and it's anyone who's trying to tell you otherwise is trying to sell you something or whatever. It's like, yeah, there are boarding schools in Alaska. Any parent who tells you otherwise is not being completely honest. Maybe not totally, but anyway. Right now, I'm just trying to write out a story that's been on my heart, and it is so completely different. It's kind of reassuring to think that the story is probably completely not marketable.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I wrote one that would be pretty hard to market. I mean, at least now. So
yeah. It's a coming of age story that's historical magic realism, mail order bride, horror suspense. So when you throw that many darts, you're probably gonna you have that many targets, and you throw one dart, chances are you're gonna miss the board. And that's completely fine. I will clarify it's the story is told from the 11-year-old's point of view, not from it's not like a mail order bride, like you'd get an inspirational romance. It's just he happens to go with his mom.
Yeah, makes sense.
So but it's told coming of age, coming from a story, and so that's so many targets and one single dart, and the chances of hitting any board when you're throwing it wildly at that many targets, it's kind of slim.
So it's what sounds right up her alley, but yeah, I get it. Sometimes you gotta write something that's just for you.
Yeah,
well, actually,
and
you heard part of the story that I did. The story of me meeting other versions of myself from the multiverse, and I'm like maybe one day if I'm an author and don't know who I am, but right now that's not marketable. So it's for me.
Yeah. Well, I think I do have the character that I pulled out of book 3 that was and no longer is, and I really need to delete those files.
Okay.
the character I pulled out, he's showing up in a different story.
Okay.
And so I don't know how much he'll change or how much he'll remain the same. So but that one will take a while to write, I think. And that one should be a standalone if it cooperates with me. But hey, my goal for writing Recorder was a 15,000 word short story. So
And look where you are now. You're
yeah,
three books that are doing decently well, it seems like. So yeah, great. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. I want to be respectful of both of our time, so I'll probably wrap up in a few minutes. Last question for now. Where can people buy the book and or follow you online?
I have a really cool book website. It's www.guardian-book.com.
Okay.
And that has links to Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes and Noble, christianbook.com, and has the book trailer. It has some endorsements and has links to my website. So you can track me down that way and track down Guardian that way. My website is www.cathymccrumb.com. You can find me on Instagram. I think it's Cathy McCrumb author. And I'm probably more active on Instagram. I have not yet updated my website. I should do that. Put it on my list of a bazillion things, right? As a parent, you have no idea what I mean by a list of a bazillion things, I'm sure.
I mean, I'm a parent of only one so far, and only one on Earth, and so you have five. So there is a sense in which I have no idea, but I have
Well, I'll put it this way.
no idea.
Little kids are like, you multiply it times 3. And then as they get a little older, you can take that down to so like a 3-year-old is like 9 children sometimes. Not really, but you know what I mean. I'm
little bit.
pretty sure you know what I mean.
In this past hour, I realized that. Okay, just for the
Yes.
record, I typed in the guardianbook.com. There is a dash or a hyphen in there. Guardian-book.com. Fred put it in the comments, but yeah, guardian-book.com.
Yeah.
I typed it in without the hyphen. It was just one of those like domain.
Oh no, yeah, that's the no, that would be silly. Yeah, so it's guardian-book.com, and it has the really cool trailer that Enclave made for the book.
I'll have to
And
go check it out.
then just the links and some endorsements.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah, it's really fun. And
guardian-book.com, cathymccrumb.com. Check it out.
yeah.
Also Amazon, you guys know what that is. So
Yeah, and Amazon, it's available on Amazon, and just Guardian Book is just cool because there's like 4 different places you can go, and then you can easily shop for the lowest price, which is what I tend to do because when you have multiple children, you have to be more frugal. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, thanks so much, Cathy, for your time and for being flexible today. And thanks to all the viewers at home who put up with us changing our schedule, and then my kid running around in the background and all that stuff.
oh no, and thank you for rescheduling. I really appreciate it. And I think Benny's adorable, and I don't mind having Benny time on the camera. I'm just gonna tell you.
Anybody, she doesn't mind. So there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone at home, thank you for watching, and yeah, go check out Guardian, go check out Cathy's other books if you haven't already, because they're good, and we all need to support our fellow authors. As always, you can like my page, Samuel and Harris, for more updates from me, author interviews, and things like that. You can always find more on there. Hey, wait, no, that's enough blueberries. Okay.
Blueberries. I'm sorry to contradict you, but
no, it's enough blueberries.
yeah, it will be enough in several hours probably. Yeah. But that was a TMI mom thing. I am so embarrassed. Oh my gosh, TMI mom thing. Okay. It's a blueberry.
Yep, there you go, buddy. Okay.
But the other thing that I would say is check your public library. And right. Overdrive and Overdrive's out now, I think. Libby and Hoopla, they frequently have the books. And then give it a listen, see if you like, give it a read, see if you like, and then
If the library doesn't have it, you can request that they order it, which I did. Mm-hmm. So and that helps your author friends too. So
and that's well, for years, I had zero book budget. And, somebody scolded me once, well, you have coffee and you can just take your coffee money. And I'm like, I don't even go out and buy coffee. I don't buy anything. I wash clothes at the laundromat and then I go home. Splurge on blueberries once in a while. But I always had the library. And so that's where I discovered some of my favorite authors, was just browsing through the library. So I'm a big proponent of, you can get it at your library, order it at your library. That's super cool. And it is helpful.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. That's right. So go support Cathy library or Amazon or her website, whatever you want to do. Like my page, follow me for more updates and interviews. I hope this isn't the last time I ever have you on, so we'll see what the future is like. You can sign up for my stuff at the link in the description. Thanks everyone for listening in, and have a great day, great weekend, and go buy Guardian. Yeah. Bye, Cathy. Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.